What's up, LG History Fact fans? Today we do the Battle of GAUGAMELA. The Battle of GAUGAMELA was fought in 341 BC in today's Iraqi Kurdistan on the 1st October between the army of Macedonia and the Persian Empire. The two armies were the Macedonian army and the Persian army. The Macedonian army was led by Alexander the Great of Macedonia. He had an army of 47,000 infantry and 10,000 cavalry. And the Persian army is heavily debated. The historians claim there were over 1 million soldiers, but modern estimates claims there were 260,000 infantry and 40,000 cavalry. But it was still 5 times as large as the Macedonian army in the battle. And the battle is very famous, in one of Alexander's most famous battle Alexander the Great fought in. Battle started in the morning of 1st October when the Greek army attacked. Or the Macedonian army attacked the Persians. Many of Alexander the Great's generals wanted him to go back to the coast and raise a lot of force, but he was convinced that he was outnumbered 2-1 in the battle of Granicus and 3-1 in the battle of Issus, but this time was outnumbered 5-1. And his army was very tired for marching, and Persian army were very big. And the king of Persia was King Darius III, and he led his army personally. The battle started when the Greeks attacked, but Alexander the Great had a very good strategy. He takes all his cavalry and taken all to the right of the battlefield, and then the Persian cavalry ran after him and opened a gap in the Persian army when they attacked forward. And when on the left side, the Persian managed to pull back the Macedonian army, but he made a very big gap. Alexander just kept riding, and he righted left forward to Darius' army, and they smashed in a big gap in the Persian army. It was chaos. Very big. Hundreds were killed every minute. And the Persian army just collapsed. Darius just treated, and when he treated, he had spikes on the side, just mown down many soldiers, his own soldiers. And when he started on the attack with his chariots, with spikes on the top to cut off people's soldiers' feet and legs. The Macedonia had a tactic to go when the attackers left. Just forward, they went to the sides and have many pikes from the Phalanx formation was very good, and they was just stopped, and they just sometimes the soldiers flow over from the carriers into the spikes, and it was all killed. The tactic was very good, but then he went into the Darius. He was almost close to kill him, but Darius just retreated. He wanted to pursue him, Alexander, but his left side was almost broken, almost destroyed, so he couldn't pursue him. So he stayed there to save his army. If many sources believe if he pursued Darius, he will probably lose almost all his whole army in a battle, but he didn't. So he defeated the Persians, and many just retreated in chaos. We just a big chaos everywhere, but the victory went to the Macedonians. The battle ended with a victory for the Macedonians. The Macedonians was 4,000 killed and 16,000 wounded, compared to the 65,000 killed for the 165,000 wounded and 80,000 captured. It was a big and the rest is fled. A big victory for Alexander, was his biggest victory against the Persians in the wars of Alexander. But he did not conquer Persia yet, but he conquered the capital of Babylonia, of the heart of the Persian Empire, and he had immense wealth in the city. He could pay all his soldiers many times over and over again in the same day, and he was furious from conquering the whole Persian Empire. Please smash that subscribe button and like button, and please comment what you do next. Have a good day. Bye.